Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Seal Podcast, episode number 174 for Cinco de Mayo 2023.
How's it go?
Cinco de Mayo 2023.
Okay. De Maya?
De Mayo?
I don't know. Isn't that what you put on your sandwiches?
Possibly. I'm your host, Fraser. I'm joined on my left by Neil.
Hello? Who are you?
And on my right by Dave.
Hello.
I am your returning host.
What's
I don't think I need to be
welcome
host.
back.
I don't think I need to be host anymore. You guys did such a good job.
Oh, yeah.
I like the way you split the duties too. That
You
was
wanting
good.
another week off? Is that what you're saying?
I would like every week off, actually.
Oof. That hurts. Feels like you don't like us anymore.
No, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's just been one of those days where it was just like, oh shit, podcast is loom, and I just like, it's been a day. It's been a day. One of
You'll be
those
fine
days.
within 10 minutes. Once I've cracked some really unfunny jokes, you'll be great.
I'm feeling like a weight is lifting off my shoulders as we converse with each other. So, good. Everyone's all right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fat as usual.
Fat as usual.
Yeah.
Why have you just eaten
Ate too
well?
much. Ate too much dinner. I didn't, and I was still hungry after dinner, so I cooked a pizza. And now I'm really eating way too much.
Pizza chaser.
Yeah. It's only a thin crust pizza.
Doesn't matter. It's still a pizza.
Yeah, well, it was a frozen pizza. Barely counts.
All right. Oh, okay. Pretty much mostly water then.
Yeah, it was all right. To be fair, it was as frozen pizzas go. Those Chicago Town ones, not the tiddly ones, but the big ones, they're pretty good.
Is that what you had?
The Chicago Town thin and crispy one today, and I've had the stuffed crust ones, and they're pretty good. They got frozen raw dough, the stuffed crust ones, so they like puff up loads in the oven.
Oh.
They're pretty good, and they don't give that
Alright.
horrible sloppy bit in the middle.
Oh yeah. I haven't really had a frozen pizza for as long as I can remember, but yeah, I'm having flashbacks to
Yeah, it's
that.
like black edges with
Water.
with semi-frozen centre.
The swamp in the middle. This cheesy swamp. All right.
Yes.
Okay, well, I have a smile on my face now. Let's talk about some football, shall we?
Are we going straight into football?
Well, we usually
Okay.
do.
I do, but I forgot to bring my little speech up. So you can
Uh-oh.
give me 2 seconds. I'll just open not a word pad. Notepad. It's not even word pad. It's pretty unfancy. Right then. It's a big week in the old FPL this week.
Yes.
Things have happened. We'll
Haven't
get to
they?
that. But first of all, I better talk through all of the fucking matches that happened, because it was double game week.
Yeah.
And spoilers for people who are watching, they'll see the big news in a second. Right, so Crystal Palace and West Ham got the weekend off to a goal-filled start, with Palace ending victorious with a 4-3 win. So it feels like forever ago, this. Then Brentford broke Notts Forest heart, sorry Christian, with 2 late goals to win 2-1. Forest looked like they were going to get a very important win there, but didn't happen. Brighton got back on track. Well, you could say that. They smashed Wolves 6-0 with a reshuffled team, which has probably not gone down too well for people who've gone there, with the sort of popular attacking options that they've had recently. But we'll get onto them in a minute. And on Sunday, because there was only 3 games on Saturday, it was a bit of a weird weekend. Another weird weekend this weekend. On Sunday, there were 5 games at 2:00. Bournemouth look like they've got themselves out of trouble after winning 4-1 over Leeds, who are anything but out of trouble at the moment. Man City narrowly beat Fulham 2-1, and Manchester United beat Aston Villa 1-0. Newcastle came back from a goal down to win 3-1 against bottom club Southampton. And in the 4:30 kickoff, Liverpool hosted Spurs in another goal fest. And the Londoners seem to have made it an amazing comeback when they made it 3-3 late in injury time after being 3-0 down after about 15 minutes. And then what happened? Lucas Moura, poor lad, been on the pitch about 10 minutes, if that, passed it to Diogo Jota, and he scored. And it was like 93rd minute equaliser for Spurs, 94th minute winner for Liverpool. So he didn't feel too clever, I don't think. The last time he went to Merseyside, he got sent off, I think, against Everton. So he's had a pretty bad time up there. And then that was the last game of the sort of first round of fixtures. Then we've got on to the extra fixtures. So on Tuesday, Arsenal smashed someone's former favourite team, Chelsea, 3-1. And then Liverpool and Man City both got wins Wednesday night. Actually, I don't know. Arsenal-Chelsea was the last game of the single week cup game week, actually, to be fair. Liverpool and Man City both won on Wednesday night. 1-0 over Fulham for Liverpool and 3-0 over West Ham for Man City in the game where Erling Haaland made history. It's been coming a long time. He's now scored 51 goals this season or something in all competitions and 35 in the Premier League, and that's the most anyone's scored in the Premier League. If he scores something like 12 more goals before the end of the season, he will be the all-time British, whatever it is, domestic. I don't know how he's Dixie Dean basically is the leading scorer in British football
like 100 years ago, isn't it?
Yeah, it was like 1926 or something, and he scored 63. So he needs 12 more goals to equal him, and he's potentially got 9 games left. So yeah, he's had a good season, you could say. And then Thursday night, Man United and Brighton looked to be heading for a 0-0 draw when I swear the referee had actually blown the final whistle, and then VAR piped up and they'd spotted a handball in the Brighton penalty area. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. Whatever. Anyway. So he ordered Brighton a penalty. It was in the Man United penalty area, obviously, not Brighton penalty area. And then Luke Shaw had stuck his hand up inexplicably in the 94th minute, and Alexis McAllister stepped up and plonked the ball in the back of the net, so they won 1-0. So Brighton are absolutely smashing it.
I needed a 0-0 on that game. Would have
tell
been
me about
absolutely blinding for me.
I was praying for a Man United goal, to be honest, because I was looking at your team going, oh, God, look at the fucking state of this. This is not good. It's going to be gloating.
Oh, I don't know why do you think I gloat every time. I don't
know. Well, you haven't had much to gloat about this year. You've been banging on about last season's win for the entire season, pretty much. So. I've piped down a bit over that lately.
But I do have to say, I mean, first of all, they scored in the 94th minute. So on a normal day, I'd be like, 0-0 is what I wanted, and then the goal to go in at the 94th minute is brutal. But McAllister scored it, and I put him in, so I was okay with that.
Your Brighton players kept clean sheet again.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I still had because I had 4 of my, I had the keeper and a defender from Man U and 2 Brighton defenders as well. So that game 0-0 would have been awesome, but yeah. And then Diego Jota scoring as well. I mean, I just put him in, so that was lucky.
Yeah, that was the game I think I had.
Or was that the game before?
No, he scored. He scored. Yeah, he scored.
Right? He should have been off.
Yeah, he should have been red carded because he definitely kicked someone in the head.
So so for all the belly aching about things not happening, going my way, sometimes they do go.
They definitely went your way last week, that's for sure. So yeah, a lot of points around for quite a lot of players. Not all the players that have been scoring the points recently. A certain couple of names that you'll recognise in the next lot, I'm sure. But Mo Salah, therefore, scored 18 points. He was the top scoring player out of for his 2 games. Danny Welbeck got 17 points. He got a double in the 6-0 win for Brighton. And his teammate, Pervis Estupinan, who I believe is your defender that you plonked in, he had 2 clean sheets. And Erling Haaland, and also they both scored 16 points. Martin Odegaard, Jefferson Lerma of Brighton. That's fucking hell, I can't speak tonight. Bournemouth. Jason Steele is the Brighton goalkeeper. Nathan Ake of Man City and Thomas Souček, West Ham, all scored 15 points. And Pascal Gross, who was smashing the points in at the beginning of the season, has been quiet for quite a while. He scored 14 points, and so did Julian Alvarez of Man City, who's a World Cup winner, obviously. along with Alexis McAllister. So Alvarez coming into the Man City side late on, scoring a load of points. Scored an absolute beauty the weekend before. And so a lot of players there that you haven't been that common coming up in the top scoring points. There's a couple, obviously, that do, like Haaland, Salah, always scoring points. But a lot of the others, Odegaard as well, he's had quite a good year. A lot of other players, especially like the Brighton 6-0 win, they had a load of different players in. They didn't have Mitoma and didn't have whoever else. I think Solly March came on, or whatever. I can't. He started, but he didn't do anything. And, they scored 6 goals, and I was like, Solly March, he's the only one who actually started the game. He must have scored some points. No, got 1 point, I think. Anyway, so all of that means that in our league, the top scoring team was Fraser Moores, 126.
My comment on that was I held off on that wild card, and I played the wild card just before the double game week, and I loaded up on. My whole team is built on on that double game week and the run up to the end of the season. And I just got super lucky. Everything, pretty much, almost everything delivered on that squad. So
you had a couple of Brighton players, didn't you?
3 Brighton. Was it? You got a load of Man United, Man City.
Van Dijk managed to finally keep a clean sheet.
Yeah.
So everything came up Millhouse for me.
Oh, didn't it just? So the average score for that week was 82 points apparently. I got 110 points and I was the second top scorer. And Nathan Suleiman got 105 points. So we're all over 2,000 points now. I have made moves in the league, and moving on to the top 3. I am now top of the league.
Yeah,
I've done the Man City on Paul Davies' Arsenal.
How excited are you?
Intense. I'm tense now. Now it's it's
yours to lose.
Exactly. I'm like I said, it's very much the Man City Arsenal. I've taken the lead at the similar point of the season that Man City have just pipped Arsenal now, and it's all about whether Man City can keep it up to the end of the season. They'll win the league, and Arsenal will keep piling the pressure on. So, yes, we'll see what happens. But yes, I am down top with 2,131 points. Paul Davies second, 2,118, and Sam Hockley still in third, 2,073.
Yes.
So
I have to give a special shout out to Lewis, my big spoon brother, because him and I have been battling back and forth. He unfortunately didn't update his team and left the door wide open for me to step through. Now he still posted half decent numbers, 76, but of course he didn't post numbers as good as he could have, and I posted numbers way above what I should have. So that was I think he's kicking himself on that one a little bit, which is a shame. But there was some good showings from the Americans this week.
Is this are we getting an American influx in the Discord? Is that?
That's because I said that you were pretty good at keeping everyone informed about the cups and things like that, and so I think they're starting to get nicely involved. A lot of them were surprised that there was a cup going on.
Yes, well, let's say the thing with the cup is, as you need a lot of teams in your league to have a cup that starts in like a reasonable game week to keep it exciting from a long way out. But even like with 24 teams we had before this week, someone decided to chip out of the league this week.
I went up a place, but I didn't know.
Yeah, I had to figure that one out. Everybody from the bottom went up.
Yes,
but
because your opponent in the cup decided to leave for some reason.
Yes, John Mouse has ditched out the league for whatever reason that is.
He wasn't doing that bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, speaking of the cup, should we round up the cup?
Well, before we get to the cup, so I will just say, and this is just because I'm like, I cannot believe I am in 6th place now, and like I was eyeing up top 10 at one point as like a decent finish. I'm now eyeing up 5th place, top 5. So, but I mean, cracking top.
Chris Jackson's been doing all right.
Yeah, well, I'm looking top 5, and I'm just like, you're up there with the top 5. Like, what's the differential now?
That's what I was doing earlier.
Yeah, it's tough, eh?
But I'm a bit like, I can't take too many gambles. I've got to try and maintain this lead now.
That's the rub, eh?
Yeah. But there is the cup. So in the cup, obviously a load of teams got buys because we've got a weird number of teams in the league. So there were wins for myself, Christian Barkley, Chris Jackson, Fraser, Joel Reeves, SLH, Phil Taylor and Michael Redmond, which means in the next round, we've got proper cup time where it's a knockout, full knockout, no buys, all teams versus teams. We've got Sam Hockley versus SLH, Michael Redmond versus Joel Reeves, my daughter, who got a bye, versus Lord, Chris Jackson versus Christian Barkley, Fraser has got Michael Zodder, Marty, RIP, is versus Dave. No pressure, Dave.
Marty's still in the cup. If Marty can beat Dave from the grave, seriously,
I
that
hope
is
he
just...
does. I do.
Oh dear, I've got
It'll
Dan
just be
Fletcher
amazing.
and Phil. Well, imagine if he wins the cup. That would be good. Phil Taylor is playing Nathan Suleiman. So this is your minus point. If you have minus points, that does come off your cup total apparently. So if you do take a hit on your transfers this week, you do start in a negative for the cup.
Oh, that would explain why I got a screen grab of... No, it doesn't, because I didn't think... Because it showed Lewis having -4 at the start of the game. But the games had already started. Maybe it just hadn't updated or whatever. But I thought he hadn't made any transfers. I don't know. Something was a bit weird. I think the app was having a...
It does, you know, like it's whether we league updates in our league, it sort of updates the positions in the game week points without updating the total points sometimes. Like it would look at it and go, that doesn't work out right. It's like I should be on more points than that. And it takes time for all of the figures to work out after the end of the game week. So
what's it doing there? Some sort of SQL database in the background there,
I don't know why it shouldn't add those numbers on.
Dave,
it seems like
Dave,
a fairly simple...
Dave, I want IT answers.
I barely know what's going on the best of times in this league with the points and everything, let alone like trying to work out the mechanics behind it.
It's just got to be a big database, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of people in there, obviously. There's something like 12 million teams to keep hold of, I guess. It's just a lot, mate. There's a lot of data in it. It's just nuts. It's just ones and zeros, though.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, just got to make sure they're in the right place. An addition is basically how computers work, as far as I understand. That's basically all they can do, is add things up.
You might be right.
And go wrong.
Well, yeah, there is that. That's the human interaction part of it, though.
Yeah.
So I've taken a -4. I don't know. I've gone early, and I'm gambling. Like I was I'm in an hour and then I realised it's actually a 1:30 deadline tomorrow afternoon. So I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to be up by 1:30 tomorrow. I could have fucking done that tomorrow, but I've done 2 transfers, taken a -4 because James Maddison
broken
broke me.
This champion's as current reigning champion, you know my strategy: never ever.
Oh well, I've listened to the actual pros, and they say, you know, taking hits at the right time is fine. You just got to time them right. And I looked at my team. Well, more like I was watching Leicester v. Who was it? Everton. And it was a painful experience, let's be honest, watching Leicester v. Everton anyway. And lo and behold, Leicester get a penalty. It's 2-1 Leicester. James Maddison takes the ball off Yuri Tielemans, puts the ball on the spot. Jordan Pickford goes over to his water bottle, takes a good drink, and he has a good look at his water bottle, then puts it down, and then saves fucking James Maddison's penalty. Because it was a shit penalty, and B, on his water bottle, he's got all of the penalty takers and whether they go left, centre, right, and how much percentage each one is. And it said 60% James Maddison straight down the middle. And he just took a step to the right, and then went back to the middle, went, thank you very much, and just caught the ball. I was like, you fuck.
Oh, wow. Brilliant.
Yes. Football is definitely a numbers game these days, and stats are all over everything. So I was gutted. I was like, yes, he's going to... So instead of 10 points, he got 2, because he also got booked after that. I was like, you fucking knob. So that was his last game for me. So guaranteed he's going to score loads of points in the last 4 games this season.
That was a fantastic idea by the goalie, though.
I'm not sure it's his idea. I think they all do
No.
that.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I definitely remember seeing that in the World Cup. People go, all the keepers in the penalty shootouts going over to their wall and having a good study at something on their
Okay.
wall bottle.
All right, nice.
So yes, there we go.
Okay.
That's the
Good
footy
stuff.
round.
All
Anything
right.
you want to talk about your teams before we move on?
Not really. I've
Got any
started.
big words of wisdom for the community?
It's
Captain
difficult, isn't it?
Haaland.
There's a part of
Okay.
me that, yeah. Oh, that's always good advice. Yeah. Oh yeah, you did all right on your triple captain. There are a couple of
Oh
you
yeah, I
who
forgot
triple
about that. I did
captained.
triple captain Thailand last week. Could have been better. I didn't have Salah, but yeah, there we go. He was my best scoring player out of my team, but definitely there's been better times to have done the triple captain for sure. Like when he scored a fucking
Well,
hat trick or
yeah,
whatever.
but at least you triple captained guy. At least he scored
Yeah.
a
He scored a
haul.
nice goal as well.
Yeah,
His
and
35th goal of the season was a nice chip over the keeper. So
you put it on the right player in your team. So
Yeah.
no, good stuff. Thank you, Neil. I'm not revealing my secrets.
yeah.
I'm
The
loading
enemy
up
is
with I'm
listening.
loading up with Newcastle. There's my secret.
That's next week for me. I've left it this week because they're playing Arsenal, and I was like, I know
Yeah.
Jota's on his last week. In fact, I think he might even be on my bench this week, so he's bound to score.
Yeah, I hoofed Martinelli, I think. So I have no Arsenal players now.
I've got one Arsenal player who's a defender, and he's been on the bench the last few weeks anyway.
All right. Okay. Let's move on then to some listener mail. It says, if you could steal a member of another podcast and add them to your crew, who would you pick? I don't think we could add another member.
It'd be
to our
weird
crew,
having four
could we?
people, wouldn't it? We could have guests in for the football.
We have had 4 people, and not for like speaking ill of those who are no longer here with us, wherever they may be. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky one, right?
I'll
It's a
take
tricky one to
I'll take a
answer.
guest for the football bit and have who would I have for the football? I was Chris Sutton in for the football bit. I like him on his. He does good. He's on the BBC loads, so I listen to him on my BBC podcast. I like him. He's funny. Actually, no, we could have James Richardson to do the football bit. That would be great.
I think I'd have to bring in Cheapy D. I've got so much I'd like to talk to him about. Because I know he DJs, and I know he's into, he's sort of the same age as us. And
You like ping pong? You could bluff your ping pong. You could bluff your way for the ping pong.
Bluff my ping pong knowledge, yeah. Dave,
Yeah.
anyone?
I don't know. No, nobody comes to mind. I like the idea of sort of bringing people in, randoms from others podcasts, but not as a regular. I think. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard having a,
It's hard when you don't listen to any other podcasts.
Well, I used to a lot. Yeah. It's I don't know. I've got no idea.
Name now.
I don't know. I honestly couldn't. I couldn't say.
Okay.
No.
All right. We'll let you off. Because you can't have me twice. I know. I get it.
Well, I was gonna make that joke of, oh look, we've got our guest this week. It's Fraser.
Hey!
But I thought better of it.
Lord says, okay, so I've had a crazy few weeks, hence no quiz, but I'm back. Can I just give a shout out to Lord, actually? Because I have to give a shout out to anyone who makes me laugh as much as he made me laugh. Okay, Joysticks and Chill. I know not everybody was going to believe this, but Joysticks and Chill released an episode this week. And they posted... What was I going to make a joke about?
Discord,
shadow drop. I was going to make a joke about shadow dropping, but I can't remember what it was. But they didn't shadow drop it. And they put in their Discord. They said, if anybody got any questions for the show, and Lord said, "Yeah, can you remember each other's names?" Oh my god, I was howling. Fucking brilliant. Love you boys. Yeah, Lord says, I haven't updated my fantasy team for about 6 weeks, so that has gone to shit. Also, what happened to Pilch?
He's retired.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. Haven't heard from him for a while. So, Pilch, if you're still out there listening, give us a shout. Let us know you're still out there.
I assume Lord's been stressing about his football club's championship safety, and it's only since they've secured safety last night that he's back on the scene. They've been flirting with relegation for quite a while, and they were the
Right.
last team to secure their safety this week, and everyone else has been relegated.
Oh, okay. Who's that? Remind me who that is again.
Huddersfield
Oh,
Town.
okay.
Playoff finalists last season after they put us out in the semi-final.
What's going on with the magic loots?
Well, I've not been talking about that because I was talking about it all last season, and we got to the playoffs, and then the fucking Huddersfield beat us. So I'm not talking about it, but we're in the playoffs.
When does that start?
We've got one more league game, and then it's, I don't know when it is, to be honest. I haven't looked.
We will talk about it.
Because we don't know who it's going to be yet. Last place in the playoffs is up for grabs on the final day on Monday. So we'll know what's going on then. But we're guaranteed third place in the league, which is a bummer. Because in the years of old, you'd have gone up in third place, so that'd have been guaranteed promotion. But now it's first loser, I guess.
Right.
But
all right. God, I hope you get promoted. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it be amazing to watch us get smashed every week?
Absolutely. Who else is going back
probably
down?
beat Chelsea, though.
Is Forest back? As much as I love Christian, you gotta love Forest if they go back down again. Leeds, but I'd love to see Leeds go. They gotta go.
Especially now they've got. Oh, I forgot to talk about that. Sam Allardyce back, manager of Leeds for 4 games. Give it Big Sam till the end of the season. They've literally done it.
I saw somebody writing in one of the papers. Sam was saying he's up there with Guardiola and all these other.
I heard him actually say this. I heard the clip when he said it, and it doesn't sound quite as big-headed when you hear him say it as it does sound when you read it in on a piece of paper.
Well, I read it, and I was like, huh? And I went and I looked on his Wikipedia page, and I was like, well, let's have a look at his managerial honors then. And I was like, oh, that's pretty sparse. And then I had a look at his player honors. So I was like, oh, that's even more sparse.
Yeah, the problem is he's never managed fucking Bayern Munich or Manchester City with a potload of money, has he? He, believe it or not, was one of the sort of first managers to use this data-led charge that now everyone's fucking doing. They were innovators at Bolton Wanderers back in the day.
He just watched Moneyball, that's all.
No, I think Moneyball was probably out after Bolton Wanderers, to be honest, because that was a long time ago. Because I remember I was listening to one of my other podcasts, Football One, and the guy who was like the data guy, he was on a podcast and talking about it because he went to Chelsea after being at Bolton. And he's now doing something with some team in America, baseball, not baseball. I can't remember, NFL. I think. Well, he's doing something. He's out in the States now, but he started with Bolton, and then he went to Chelsea, and obviously, it was all about Bolton's model was they had to get players on the cheap, and they were looking in they're doing basically what Brighton are doing now, back in but whenever Bolton were good in the Premier League, going into these weird markets that no one else was in and picking players up for peanuts. And then selling them for a shitload of money because they were like Mitoma that no one had heard of, who's been smashing it at Brighton this season. He'll go possibly this season in the summer to some bigger club for a load of money. But Brighton they've got a conveyor belt of these amazing, they've just put a load of new ones in last week. These great young players that just appear from nowhere.
Right.
But it's not nowhere, obviously. It's somewhere.
Okay, anyway, we got distracted here. Back to Lord. He has a quiz for us. All right, okay. He says he's gone for a food quiz this week just for a change. So
yes.
Are we ready?
I should do well here.
Number 1. What is the rarest M&M colour?
Oh, shit.
Around me, it's purple.
What
was that because everyone else eats them?
I eat them all.
Purple? Is there a fucking purple one?
I don't recall there being
That's
a purple
Skittles,
M&M.
Dave.
Oh, for God's sake.
I was going to say blue.
I reckon, I was going to say brown, but I'm thinking about it, thinking there probably is quite a few brown ones. But my initial thought was blue, and then I went, nah, it's got to be brown. It's not very colourful, is it?
Wasn't there a one that had was made up from crushed up beetles? Or am I thinking of Skittles again?
I have no idea.
Ease off on one. You're all right there. You've been on the old wacky backy.
The thing is, I haven't actually. I'm sober. This is me in my normal state.
Oh dear.
Sober Dave. We don't understand sober Dave.
um. I'll say orange.
Well, I reckon the rarest colour is one they don't do.
Hey,
Black.
Yeah.
what are we putting down for you, Neil?
I was going brown.
Okay, question number 2. What is the most consumed manufactured drink in the world?
Well, what do you call manufactured? I mean, I don't like. Is orange juice manufactured? Because that was my thing. I was like, orange juice. Does it have to be a brand?
I was
I think that would be a brand. I think it would have to be a brand then, wouldn't it?
It's got to be lemonade, isn't it?
I wouldn't say it's cola.
Coca-Cola is like the obvious choice, isn't it? Which can't be true.
Can it not?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel like it should be. Like,
I'm going to say Coca-Cola just to go.
I'll say 7-Up.
It's not gonna be
7-Up.
That's like made by Pepsi. That's not going to be the number one, is it? I want to say orange juice, but if I'm not allowed orange juice, it's got to be.
You can say whatever you want.
I
mate.
was gonna say, are we saying generic things? Could we say cola, which
You can say whatever you like. I'm going Coca-Cola.
Most consumed
We don't know
manufactured.
anything
Okay,
more than the question.
I'll say lager. There you go.
That's just in this house.
Lager.
Lager. Okay.
Neil,
Can I say orange juice then?
you can say whatever you like.
I'm saying orange juice.
Okay. Question number 3. Which is the only edible food that never goes bad? Which is the only edible food? Isn't all food edible? That never
I'd
goes
say-
bad.
Like,
Isn't that by its very nature food?
food is edible, yeah, I guess. What I
Well-
assume it doesn't kill you if you eat it. Also,
I'm going to say salt.
well, I was going to say that. Is that a
I was going
food?
to say something with a high salt or high sugar content.
Is salt
Um,
food?
Well, we need it to live, don't we?
Do we?
Yes.
Not too much. So give you a
No.
bad ticker.
So I was also thinking about
Same
foods
with
that
lager.
that we eat that go bad. So the Icelandic fish, rotten fish.
The
Yeah,
one that's gone bad.
How about something that's already so fucking bad? No one.
Well,
eats
that's it. Well, you only eat it when it goes.
Isn't
bad.
that called something like Gerschneifelfurken?
I think you may have just made that up. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
It's either that or like something like biltong.
What about your
or
kimchi bollocks?
Jerky.
Something-
Kimchi's fermented.
Pickle dick?
Pickle dick. Well, yeah, I suppose you could say a pickling things.
They must go off though.
Yeah.
I had
don't
some
know.
vinegar that said it went out of date, and I was like, I didn't think vinegar went out of date, but
Pickled eggs are very nice. So,
are they?
yeah.
Pickle dicks are very nice.
Them too. I'm gonna say jerky or biltong.
I was going to say salt if it's a food, but I don't think it's a food. Really, is it? You can eat it, but you wouldn't want to just eat salt on its own, would you?
No.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, but I'm going to stick with it anyway.
Or
Go on
sugar.
then, let's have your answers. Anyone?
So I've said biltong or
Biltong?
jerky. Same thing. Depends where you buy it from. If you're South African or not.
I can't think of anything.
Give over. All you need to
I
do
can't
is
think of
just name
something
one.
that's not salt. Because I don't think that goes off. But
Okay,
other than that, I literally have no idea.
why don't you say orange juice again then?
Because that definitely goes off. because I've definitely opened orange juice.
Right,
and
but I can't have
had
a
layer
blank
of malt.
space. Nature abhors a vacuum, Neil. I needed something to fill this box.
What did you say?
Nature abhors a vacuum.
Wow. But yeah, anyway, I'm not going there. Monster Munch.
Frozen pizza. There you go.
Monster Munch. Brilliant. Okay. Who's got answers?
I can see answers. Well, I can't see them yet. I can see them in a minute. I'm going to click on things. Where's that bit? There it is. Right, so what is the rarest M&M colour? The answer is... Holy shit, bro. It's fucking brown.
Wow. Nice work.
What is the most consumed manufactured drink in the world? And the answer is... Ah, fuck off. It's tea. Didn't think of that, did we?
It's tea? Oh,
tea.
nice.
I didn't even think of hot drinks.
Yeah, I wouldn't think of tea as being a manufactured drink. I think the tea bags are manufactured, but the drink itself is not. It's
How do you
made
make
at
your
home.
tea, Dave?
I make it at home. I don't manufacture it at home. That's semantics.
I'd like to see orange juice numbers, please. For having tea. You can literally drink orange juice from the fridge. You know?
I can tell you I've had at least 4 cups of tea today and no cups of orange juice.
But did you literally get a glass of tea from your fridge, or did you have to make your fucking tea from a tea bag? So there you go. I'm with Dave. I'm with Dave here.
I can tell you that the orange juice from the fridge had to go through a process to become.
So it's manufactured. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah,
Yeah.
processed.
But the tea wasn't.
The tea was made into tea bags. So you had to make your own tea from a tea bag. So the tea drink itself wasn't manufactured. The tea bag was.
Lord.
Dave started it. Let's blame Dave. Anyway, which is the only edible food that never goes bad? Well, none of us were right. It's honey.
I did say high sugar content, didn't I?
The thing is, I had to throw some honey in the bin because it had gone bad. It was supposed to be runny and it was fucking solid as a rock. Oh yeah, so it kind of went bad. Yeah, no, I tried that and it was still just like fucking bollocks. It was fucked. So it went bad. So that's bollocks as well.
All right, we're replacing that one with salt. If we don't like your answers for 2 and 3, we're changing them to Ryan.
Oh, I like that sound.
Oh, someone's just subscribed.
Thanks for following. What does that say?
Oh yeah, we should talk about that, shouldn't we? We just paid our hosting fees again for the podcast. We ran the numbers. We got the accountant. We got Deloitte and Touche in, or Armstrong, or whoever they are. No, Anderson, W. Anderson Consultants. I don't know.
This is a rich people thing.
Whoever cooks books. I don't even know. I had it all written down. I've forgotten where it is. But I think, anyway, we crunched the numbers from our subs and we looked at money coming in and money going out. And we made a profit. The Seal podcast made $4 of profit.
That's Canadian dollars, which is basically
Canadian dollars.
Basically nothing.
You could find that down the back of a sofa.
In fact, your shirt buttons would probably be worth more.
So unbelievably, but that being said, the subs paid for the podcast to be hosted. So we are in massive debt to all of you for doing that, and ourselves. In fact, I think we are the more regular ones who do the subs. But anyway, for anyone else who has subbed on that Twitch Prime or whatever it is, it's much appreciated. I was hoping we were going to see a profit to spend some money on something, but we didn't see. Well, we did, but we. Let me just tell you, I'm not divvying out that $4.
That's going towards next year's subs.
Yes.
Next year's. What do you call it? Next year's. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I'm busy.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you very much for all that, and we appreciate it for sure. Thank you very much. Who just subbed anyway? Did we see?
No, don't. We're not talking about that. We're not giving them no publicity because they just spammed the chat with a load of fucking bullshit. So they've gone.
So they've gone.
Yep. I just banned
Did they
them.
apply? What? It's the person who just subbed.
They didn't sub. It was just a follow, and they
Oh, it was just a
banned them
follow.
because it was just a fucking. I'm going to promote your channel bullshit. Fuck off.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
I didn't think you'd done that for the followers. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. What else? MS Rangers has sent one of his crackers here. Evening, boys. Why is the Lone Ranger nicknamed Lone, though he is constantly accompanied by Tonto? I've done my homework on this one. I can answer it.
I actually know this, but yeah.
Go on then, Dave.
So he was like one of 6 Texas Rangers that got ambushed but didn't die. So he's the lone ranger out of this group.
Right.
I think that's from what I remember.
Been a
of
busy day
what I
at
read
work for you
about
two,
it.
obviously.
Yep, I believe
this
you're
was
right, Dave.
Donkeys years ago, I looked into it. I don't know why. I think it's another one of those stupid things that people are like, why is he called the Lone Ranger? I was like, oh, actually, I
So it's not like Tonto's a figment of his imagination or something. It's all a big acid trip, the entire show.
So Tonto is not the best name either, because in Spanish it means stupid. So he's renamed. Yeah, so he's renamed when he's in Spanish speaking. Tonto.
What is? Who is?
Yeah. All right.
So who? Yeah, he's an American Indian that befriended
a Native American.
What did I say?
An American Indian.
Indigenous American.
Right. Who befriended the Lone Ranger.
So what's the Lone Ranger? Other than the last of 6 Texas Rangers, he's a
masked stranger that goes around helping people.
Like Zorro, but less Spanish.
So? Yeah.
Okay, we answered that.
Apparently.
I think so. Is that what you know?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I read it on Wikipedia earlier.
Okay.
Pretty much the same thing. Dave nailed it.
Pretty much.
Do prisons have emergency exits?
I assume so.
Of course they do. Of course they do. Yes.
It's building safety requirements.
Yeah. It's not accessible by prisoners.
I assume it only goes off when there's an alarm. You're only allowed to open them. It's like those ones at Tesco. Like if you try and run through it when the alarms aren't going off, you just might.
Oh dear. Okay. Are they actually locked?
Yeah, there's a lock on them until the alarm goes off. Oh.
The Supermax Tesco.
Supermax.
Supermax.
It's a mag lock or something like that. They call it.
Right.
No, Supermax is a prison, right?
Oh, okay. That's not Tesco's. Not as far as I know, anyway.
If you'll be expecting the unexpected, doesn't that make the unexpected expected?
Did you not Wikipedia this?
No.
This seems like there's one you should have Wikipedia.
Make my brain hurt. Didn't somebody, Dave? This is a Dave question because I think he answered one like this before, didn't you? What was the one that was last week?
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I was a bit drunk last week. So you can no. It's just if it's unexpected, even if you're expecting an unexpected event,
you don't know what that's going to be, do you?
No.
Well, look, here we go. Look, if you'll be expecting the unexpected, doesn't that make the unexpected expected? Well, absolutely. Of course it does, because you're expecting the unexpected.
Yeah.
It's written there in the first part of the sentence.
That is the literal, yes, I guess.
Literally
literal.
Dive into it?
Literally.
Would you like to go further into this?
I don't know. Do you want to waste another 10 minutes talking about bollocks?
No. No.
Well, unfortunately, you're on the Seal podcast, so you are going to spend the next at least 10 minutes talking about bollocks.
Mark signs off. He says thank you and good night. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it as normal. It's good to hear from you, mate.
I've just found an erroneous hair
on
my face, which is like, that's annoying.
It's
not supposed to be there.
Of them. Oh, right.
No, there's one that's like miles away from all the others. Like, what the fuck is that doing there?
Oh, I get whiskers underneath my eye.
Oh.
In my on top cheek, and the missus plucks them. She loves it. It fucking hurts.
Does a bit, doesn't it? You tried the ones out of your nose. Have you tried plucking one out from inside your nose? Pull one of them fuckers out. Or pull several at the same time if you're really feeling hardcore.
Just grab a handful.
Let's
Razor's
move
glad
on
to be
to.
back.
All right, well, let's move on to what we've got. Well, actually, look, I can segue into this because what we've been doing. My dad visited. He came over from England and came to stay with us for 10 days or whatever it was. So I was tied up with him doing stuff. But it's funny you talk about nose hairs because he came down and we were going out and I was looking at it. I was going, Dad, your nose hairs need to be sorted out. They're sticking out like literally a bush of nose hairs are suddenly sticking out, which I hadn't noticed before. I guess maybe they just came through overnight or something like that. And he went, oh, I need to take care of that or whatever. But my dad's 84, right? He's getting on a bit. And I was just like, sit down in the chair. Let's get the light on. I'll do it. And so I grabbed I have in the last week, I have trimmed an old man's nose hairs. But it was just so much quicker than him mucking around doing it himself.
Well, if he was going to pluck them bad boys, he'd have been.
But he had some bush coming out of there. I was like, wow, that's.
This is what you've got to look forward to, mate.
I don't know, is it?
Apparently.
I don't necessarily follow in the footsteps of your father, do you, though?
What does it skip a generation?
For some things you do.
Stan getting married.
Stan should.
Your granddad, yeah. You inherit your granddad's hairline and stuff like that.
So they say, I think, on some stuff anyway. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway,
I've got my granddad's height.
Although saying that, I realised I have to completely turn into my father now that I'm spending the last week with him. It's so.
I look scarily like my dad these days. I never used to think I looked anything like him. And since I'm wearing glasses, there's a couple of pictures. I'm like, fuck.
It's the pictures where you just go,
like
oh shit,
fuck.
Yeah, there's the pictures where you go, oh, there's my dad. Oh no, that's me. Oh shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, my dad came to visit. That was great. It was really nice to see him and a good visit. And we.
You've been up to lots of different things then.
Quite a bit. I mean, my dad's pretty easygoing when he comes over, although he's getting on a bit now, so he's not as mobile as he used to be, and his hearing's going and all that sort of good stuff that comes with age. So there's some challenges or whatever that we're slightly new. He hasn't been over because of COVID. He hasn't been over for nearly 3 or 4 years.
Right.
So we haven't spent that amount of time together for a long time, but obviously it's good to see him.
How long did he talk about how big the kids have got?
I mean, they obviously.
He saw them though, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, the kids have been over last year and stuff. So and in this day and age as well, it's not like when I was growing up, you had the phone call with your grandma was a big event, right? It would be planned. It would be Sunday.
Well, if you lived
Sunday's
in another
gonna
country, it would be.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We did live in another country, and it was expensive. Whoever was making the call, or there was a lot of so they didn't happen very often, and it was just a phone call. Whereas now, we have pictures flying back. We're on chat groups with them, and they have iPads, and so they've experienced, even though we've been far away, they've experienced the children growing up. So it's not everything is as much of a shock. But anyway, it was great. We went up north. I saw some snow again. We didn't see snow when we got up there, but we woke up the next morning. It was like place was covered in snow. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like snow again?"
That's the good way, though, isn't it? You don't want it before you go. You want it when you get there, and then by the time you need to leave, it needs to have fucked off again. That's good.
Yeah, I think it was there when it snowed overnight the morning we were leaving, and I was like, "Okay, it's not too bad anyway." Like there was snow. Like it would have ground the UK to a halt for about 3 weeks.
It fucking pissed down earlier, and no one could go anywhere. I think we'd be used to that.
So we just got in the car and just getting ready to go, and then it turned out there was some they'd had a spell of hot weather. There was a massive amount of snow melt, so the route home was flooded. So we had to divert, God knows, like an hour east or whatever, and then come round a different way. But that's nature for you or whatever.
Yeah, we've had some nature today for sure. We've had hail today.
Oh, have you? We've got sun finally, which is.
Oh, we had sun as well. We've had fucking 4 seasons in one day pretty much today. It hasn't quite got round to snowing, but
So that was really it. Just been busy with that, which was great, and took my dad to some nice places. He has his favorite places he likes to go. worth the biggest place, probably the best place that we went to was out for dinner on Saturday, which is like an all-you-can-eat Chinese restaurant or whatever, which was just fantastic. It was strap the feed bags on, go down there
Not eaten
midday. It
since.
was no breakfast. Get down there for midday, strap the feed bags on, and then just go home and sleep. That was pretty good. But yeah, it's just been good. It's been good.
Nice.
I have really nothing else to add on top of that. I'll tell you what. I did listen to a podcast with my dad. That was one thing we did because the journey that we took was like 5 hours each way.
I hope it wasn't this one.
No, it was. I don't know if you've made a guy called. If you're interested in it, the guy's name is Barry Sherman, and he's basically he was the billionaire owner of Apotex, which is a Canadian pharmaceutical company who manufactured generic drugs.
Okay.
So they would wait for the patents to run out, and then they would manufacture.
Does he make
Yeah.
paracetamol for the supermarkets?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what particular drugs they are. Anyway, one day, an estate agent was taking the family, somebody over to their mansion in Toronto to go have a look, and they found them both with belts around him and his wife with belts around their necks, dead in the pool.
So it wasn't him on the podcast, obviously.
In the indoor pool. No, it wasn't. So basically, and they haven't figured out the crime yet. At first, they wondered whether it was a murder suicide. Now they think it's some sort of professional hit. But it hasn't been solved. And it's very high profile.
A true crime podcast.
It's very suited to the true crime podcast. Anyway, so I listened to a podcast about that, which was very interesting. One, because it's close to home. There's an Apotex building not far from me. So it's Canadian. There are icons in Canadian billionaires get offed.
You lost a couple of belts, did you?
I'm not even going to go into the belt around the neck jokes. No. So yeah, we listened to that. So yeah, if you're interested in that podcast, I think it was I can't even remember the name of it.
That's helpful.
But Honey and Barry Sherman. It was a podcast. I think it was by the Toronto Star. It was good. It was very good. 8 episodes.
What they call that?
Really
Serial.
interesting.
Was it Serial? Is it An American Life, isn't it, or something? They do a load of that sort of shit.
Oh yeah,
Big
I wouldn't be
stories.
surprised if there have been quite a few on this one, but this was by somebody in Toronto who did it. So it was good. It was good. So I listened to that. Yeah, and I don't think I have watched much on TV. We tried to watch some movies with my dad. That's difficult trying to find a movie that you're 84-year-old dad.
Well, lucky for you,
Yeah.
Fraser. Hardly Dan is in the chat listening, and he has found it is called Suspicion: The Billionaire Murders: The Hunt for the Killers of Honey and Barry Sherman.
That is not the one that I listened to.
Okay. Well,
I
sorry,
can
Dan.
tell
You
you the
failed.
one. I can tell you the one I listened to, even though thank you, Dan. The one I listened to was called "The No Good, Terribly Kind, Wonderful Lives and Tragic Deaths
Fucking hell.
of Barry and Honey Sherman."
That's not very succinct, is it?
No, but you'll know it. You'll know it when you see it. Look up Barry
Well,
Sherman.
if you can fucking spell
podcast.
that, can remember that many words.
You don't need to use that many words. Just look up Barry Sherman.
Uh.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all.
If you
Pretty
do
much
look up
all
Barry
I've
Sherman,
done.
you'll find the one that Dan found.
Yeah. Anyway, you can go down the rabbit hole. Listen to all of them. I wouldn't mind listening to another one. See if anybody's got another take on it. So. Yeah. So that was me. Next, anyone? Neil.
Well, I have watched a thing earlier on today. It's new to Apple TV Plus today, called Silo. There's 2 episodes on there. I've only watched the first episode. It's everyone lives in a big fucking silo, and they've been told for the last 120 years or whatever that the world is fucked outside. And basically, what they call the rebellion, apparently, this is all they have a Freedom Day. This is what the sort of happens in the first episode, where they celebrate the vanquish of the rebellion by the founders, where the rebellion destroyed all of history before this point. But was it really the rebellion that did that? Who knows? It's like living in a nuclear shelter, I guess. It felt a bit like Fallout. I thought it was going to be like Fallout, but it is a bit like Fallout, I guess. But they're all still in the shelter. And it's the big fucking column. So,
Well, maybe if they all lived that close together, occasionally some of them might fall out.
Probably is a bit of that going on. Although, I don't know, it's a bit culty, obviously. It's a bit weird. But yeah, looks interesting. Bit of sci-fi.
I have
So-
seen it advertised.
Yeah, I saw it advertised, and I was like, oh, it's actually like it could be good. So, speaking of things like Fallout, there is a TV show on, is it Disney Plus, that literally does look like it was based in Fallout, where they're selling like real estate on the moon, and it's proper like that 50s sci-fi, retro sci-fi thing, and it properly looks
Okay.
like Fallout time.
Yeah, I think I've seen something advertising that.
Yeah, looked all right. I haven't watched it though. But yeah, Silo, first episode, gets a thumbs up. So I'll be watching the second one. And
Comes out weekly, doesn't
there's
it?
2 episodes out now, and then it comes out every week after that. So on a Friday. And then went to the quiz the other night. We didn't win. Not very exciting.
Ah.
And went to hospital the same day for my eye update appointment.
Oh, okay.
So health update time. My eyes is all right. So I'm happy. The things they shot me eyes with lasers in November, and they seem
Yes.
to have done the trick because my pressures was down to like
Nice.
low 20s, like proper 20, whereas they were over the 40s, and it's like anything over 15 is usually a bit of a worry. But I've got extra thick corneas. My corneas are hench.
So we've stood the pressure.
Yeah, so they give higher pressure readings than normal. But so normal for me is higher than most people. But yes, I am now normal pressures. So I'll go back in 12 months. Hooray!
And it was all just like because you felt your eyes felt
I
really
didn't feel
weird.
anything. It was just because like they clocked it at the opticians when I have to have the
Oh,
pressure test because my granddad and my mum have sort of glaucoma symptoms.
Right.
So I have to have the pressure test, and it's like my pressures came up proper high. Like they've come up high before, and I've had it checked, and they were like, "Yeah, your corneas are thick, it's fine." And then I went back, and they were like, "No. This is beyond just having thick corneas."
Right.
And it was like, "Yeah, that's fucking high." So you don't want glaucoma, really. I certainly don't. So yeah, get your eyes checked.
Check
Go to
them
the
out.
go to the opticians. It's important. You especially if you listen to this show, you probably play video games and you don't want to not be able to see what's on the screen. So go and fucking get your eyes checked. Even if you don't think there's anything fucking wrong with your eyes, go and have an eye test. Because you
Right.
never fucking know.
Like my car. I am going to just add in actually, like my car, right? So I saw my uncle earlier in the week. That's where we went, and he saw my car, right? And he goes, "Oh, those tires look expensive." And I went, "What?" And he goes, "Well, those tires, they look pretty expensive. You better hope they don't go." And I looked and I just went, "Well, there's no chance because there's loads of tread on them anyway, right?" I take my car in for a service 3 days later. He goes, "Your tires are fucked," right? The bits I couldn't see on the inside were shredded.
Oh,
You've got,
Oh, you've
got-
got to be kidding.
Is your toe all fucked?
Yeah, it was all off. So I had an alignment done, new tires.
So were they expensive? Was your uncle right?
No, he wasn't totally right.
Well,
I knew.
you put
I
some
knew
shit
a
tires
guy. I put shit tires on.
You knew a guy who robbed tires off of Jaguars.
Well, they weren't as bad as I thought they might be. I'm sure you could pay 3, 4, 5. You can pay as much.
You don't
as
want a
you
Range
want.
Rover
no, no.
or anything like that. That's for sure.
No.
Land Rover Discovery. It's like fucking 500 quid for a tire.
Are you serious, mate? We looked at one this week. My wife is looking at a new car.
What, a Land Rover?
Yeah. And then I just went, he goes, "Yeah, I've got one coming in." And I was like, "Oh yeah." He goes, "Yeah, it's a Butte." And it was like, and then I just sat there and I went, "What engine is it?" He goes, "Oh yeah, it's the 5-liter V8."
Yep.
And I was just going, and all I could, and I was just going, "That's premium gas, 5-liter V8. Everything about it is expensive. It runs air shocks, which killed my last car. Everything about this screams no." And I finally just went, "No, I just no."
Not a cash
Even
car,
though
is it?
I was tempted, but geez.
Yeah. You only buy old ones of them until they die. Then you get another one that's old until it dies.
Yeah, that's right. So sorry, go on, Neil.
That's me done, mate.
Oh,
Wasn't very exciting, sorry. My eyes aren't
Dave.
going to explode.
I've well, a few things. I watched Renfield film
Oh, did you? Been to the
this
cinema,
week.
have you?
No. Um, I could have gone to the cinemas here. I didn't. Um, what's it? Oh, what's it? Who's that? Who is it?
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. He plays Dracula. Renfield is his familiar, I think it is, or sidekick, human sidekick.
Familiar, I think is the word.
Yeah.
Servant.
Yeah, it's a gore fest. But it's very funny.
Is it?
It is. Yeah.
I
there's
think
some-
I saw a trailer for this and said, "Yeah, that looks like something I'd like to watch."
But not pay 25 quid to watch.
No. It's
Why? Which
Yeah.
streaming service was it on?
It's a cinema. It's on cinema.
Yeah, it's at cinema at the moment.
So, it's on that free streaming service
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
with ads.
No. So yeah, it was good. Nicolas Cage is actually very funny as Dracula. He's got some cracking lines. And there's just famous faces throughout.
Nicholas
I
Holt,
think-
aka Beast from the X-Men, isn't it? Is this familiar guy?
Yeah, he's been in lots of stuff. Nicholas Holt.
Obviously
he's
not
good.
Kelsey Grammer, Beast from X-Men. The other, like the more recent X-Men.
Right.
I haven't actually seen that, but yeah, really good. Recommend seeing it.
Did you know there
probably
is a
not at the
video
cinema.
game of Renfield?
No.
It is a Vampire Survivors game. Renfield something of blood or something stupid.
Okay. I think Renfield is a known name as a familiar for Dracula. I think
It's
because
based on true story.
I think it's baked into the lore about Dracula somewhere. Because
Renfield is in the original horror novel
There we go.
in
Yeah.
1897. Renfield made his
There you go.
debut.
So
in
it
the
is a true
Dracula
story.
book.
So my missus knew of Renfield or know of Renfields. I think familiars are generically known as Renfield.
The best thing about Renfield was that album he released back in the 90s.
I thought he just had a one-hit wonder, that Saturday Night song.
Or was that left field?
So yeah, is that. Funnily enough, we've actually been watching what we do in the shadows, which is a TV series about vampires.
Yeah, I watched the
I told
first
you all that you
episode.
have to watch.
I watched the first episode, and that's as far as I got. And not because it was bad; it was just like, oh, there's a lot of this to get through. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yes, Dad. Wigfield.
Matt Berry, who's in the IT crowd as the boss, or the boss's son, actually. The actual original boss jumps out of a window.
I didn't know he was in IT crowd. He's quite famous, Matt Berry.
Yeah, he's done lots of stuff.
I heard him mentioned on an American podcast, and I was like, I didn't realise he was that famous, that he was famous in America.
I think What We Do in the Shadows is American based. It was released in America.
It was Toast of London, I think, that got him sort of famous. I think it is. And he's massively over the top. Yeah.
What We Do in the Shadows is made in Toronto.
Oh, okay. There you go.
All the good shows are.
A friend of mine's wife is on the production crew.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. But yeah, I'm enjoying that. It's funny that we were watching that and then we watched Renfield. So it's been quite vampire based this week.
Nice.
Other than that, I've been doing some selling on Facebook, which Neil knows about because his missus told him that I should clean my drill.
Nice. You might get your 50 quid that you're asking for if you cleaned it, I think is what she said.
People don't buy tools on the cleanliness.
They certainly don't buy dirty tools.
So yeah, I've bought quite a few tools and selling them on Facebook.
Oh, this is your side hustle.
This was a little bit of a side hustle. I've got a few tools left over.
is
I've
this
made my
like
money back
not ones that
already.
you've like? This is not just your old tools. These ones you've picked up cheaper and then sold on, are you?
Obviously, I don't say that in the
No, works
in the
fine.
listings.
I've used it loads. That's why it's dirty.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. If they absolutely look like new, then I think more
People thinking it was nicked.
Yeah. But no. To be honest, I do test them out. I've got like videos and stuff of me not using them, but at least running them.
I don't want to watch a video of Dave drilling anything.
So yeah. I've gone through. Well, I've gone through 8 tools. I've got 3 or 4 left over. I've made my money back. I'm still actively selling one. There's 2 that I need to fix.
Have you sold the drill then?
Not. I've got one drill. That I'm.
A Bosch
that,
Professional, isn't it?
Yes, that's the one. That's on for
Hammer
listing.
drill, is it? Looks a bit meaty.
It is SDS hammer drill. I've sold 3.
Put a link in
4
the Twitch chat,
others.
Dave.
No, I'm not putting a link in the Twitch chat. But yeah, it's just yeah, I'm working from home. To be honest, two of the people like I need a drill. My drill's broke. Are you close? And I give them my postcode, and they're like, I'll be there in 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Nice.
So yeah, it's easy. It's not much work, bit of money, and now I've got some more drills I need to fix. And anything I do fix and sell on, it's all extra money. So yeah, I know it's been interesting, but
I
having
hope
to
you're telling
do
the tax man.
no, not yet, because I'm.
Don't worry about that.
It's cash in hand on it. So yeah, it's just like just good to sort of get my toe in the market. Having to deal with randos and messages of people being
Can you
funny after
deliver it?
silly money. I haven't had that yet. I've had like tools on there for that one on there is like for 50 quid. Somebody sent me, oh, we sell it for me for a tenner. I was like no, I'm not going to
Why
take
would
a
I do
tenner.
that?
And I was like, I can go to 15. I'll be round in an hour. I'm like, no, it's like
Don't
fuck
bother.
off. No, unless you got 40 quid. Yeah, no, don't worry about it. But yeah, it's just a few people just trying it on. I can get people being cheeky or seeing
Doing a
what they can get
Fraser, I
for it.
think they call that.
Well, I mean, like I will lowball people, but not lowball. Like if something's for 150, I might offer 100 just to. I mean,
Yeah.
to see if
Start
something's
the
got something on for
conversation, yeah.
150. I'm not offering like 15 quid.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, if if you take 50 quid off 50, it's just basically zero. I'll have it for nothing. If you
Yeah,
like.
you start the
just 50 quid
conversation.
off 150.
So yeah, it's okay. But yeah, I'll see if anything more moves in that, and then that's it. That's been my week, generally.
Nice.
All right. Okay. Do you touch on your stereo stuff, Dave? Is there any more stereo stuff creeping up over the next few weeks or whatever? Because I listened with interest on your amplifier purchase, which sounded pretty good.
Yeah. So that I'm still using that. The IEMA. Oh, I can't even remember what it is now. Some T9 Pro. Yeah, it's brilliant actually. It sits right next to my telly. I've got the speakers set up. It's set up brilliantly. So if the missus doesn't turn it on, she can just use the controls on the TV to control the sound, and the sound comes out of the TV. And then if we want decent sound, we turn it on. It all goes through the optics that comes out of the telly, goes into the back of the unit, and then just turn the sound off from the telly. And it's a standard volume. We just have it like set to just over half volume on
controllable
the
through the
unit.
TV then? Oh, I guess no,
No.
because it's an optical one.
That's it.
That's the bonus I've got on that. I've got that HDMI eARC connection on mine, and it's just like you just use the TV volume and it just changes the soundbar volume. It's great.
Yeah, that's it. So when I actually want my get my Denon
Get your
X
Sonos
280
soundbar.
100. No, I'm not getting a Sonos soundbar. Then yes, that'll all be done through eARC and it'll be put up to this TV in the background here rather than one in the living room anyway. So yeah, it'll be a lot better. But yeah, as an interim, I've got these speakers. I wanted to use them. I didn't want to pay out for a full blown AV receiver, and now I've also got a decent amp that I can stream Bluetooth to and put in another room when
There's
we move
more
house.
offers because obviously something's happening this weekend, which means you have an excuse to have a sale on anything, everything. Best of British sale is on this weekend and everywhere.
I've had a look on Richer Sounds. It's
I
not the
saw a
same on
nice Arkham AV amp, but it was nearly £3,000. It looked fucking nice though.
yeah. There's a few. Seven Oaks is also another good AV.
Yeah, I went to Seven Oaks somewhere. There was one in Bedford.
Okay.
There was. I don't know if there still is. But that's like, what was there? Oh, there used to be a hi-fi shop in one of the little Milton Keynes, like little estate shopping centres, and I can't remember which it was now. But yeah, that's not there anymore.
No.
Probably got robbed.
Probably. But yeah, like when I'm looking at prices, I'm comparing Richer Sounds, Seven Oaks, and Amazon.
The thing is with Richer Sounds and that, they always just price match everywhere. Anything that's big, they just price match.
Yeah. But what I want is the 6-year warranty, preferably 0% interest for 2 years. And sometimes they throw in some other stuff as well.
Yeah, I was looking. That said, like, there's a pack with £300 worth of stuff for free. It's like some Bluetooth headphones and some other shit.
Oh yeah, some speaker wire. Sometimes they throw in HDMI cables and stuff as well. Especially the Ultra HD ones, which do start to get a bit pricey for the 120 hertz 4K or 8K stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, enough of that.
Okay. All right. Well, look, you're on the start of your journey, your audio journey still, so there'll be lots more in the future, no doubt. Let's move on then to what we've been playing. Video games. Hurrah. Would anyone like to start?
Go
on, Neil, you start.
Oh, can we take it in turns?
We can take it in turns.
You
start.
Right. I played a bit more of the Kena Bridge of Spirits game.
I listened that you were playing this last week. So I did listen to the show last week, and this was definitely on my radar.
It's on PC.
A few weeks ago or a few months ago.
I think I remember Baron von Glauer saying about this a while back when he'd obviously it was quite. This is one of the early PS5 games, I think, early-ish anyway, and it's like I say, very nice looking. It's just really fucking odd when you get to like you'd be plotting, doing the puzzles is quite simple. You're plodding around doing the puzzles. The main enemies are all fine. Can quite easily beat. You don't normally get your ass kicked by like a normal little enemy that's wandering around. When you get to a boss, you know you are in for a proper scrap. And
yeah, did you say like most people are okay but the bosses are super difficult?
Bosses are just a massive step up in difficulty versus all of the other. Because like the minions are like the tiny little piddly little things generally. You just run out, hit them about 3 or 4 times, and that's it. They're done. And even if they hit you, it doesn't really hurt that much. But some of the bosses, holy shit! It's like 2 hits and you're dead. And yeah, that can get quite frustrating in a game like this. I think it's like it's almost out of place how hard the bosses are. So what I've done, I've finished I don't know if I finished it last time. I finished like the first sort of. You have to find like I say, you're helping spirits move on, as it were. And so I've helped the first main spirit move on. There was 3 things I had to find to help this spirit move on. So I did that. and thought, that was quite a lot of game that probably could have ended there. But no, there's another one to do. So I was like, oh, okay. So it's quite a big game. There's quite a lot to do. So if you like it, it's worth it, I'd probably say. It's on PS Plus anyway, if you've got a PlayStation. This looks like might be a boss battle. It's just coming up on the screen. But yeah, fucking just there was one. I don't even. It's not even a major boss, but it was so fucking hard. And like the amount of times I'd get it right down to a sliver of health, and then he'd just fucking do some dirty, cheap fucking attack on me, and I'd be dead. And I was like, "You fucker." Except I said "you fucker" with a lot more venom and volume than I just said now.
So how long are you doing these boss fights for before, like, for example, this one that you die and what's the reload like? Do you get
The
spawned?
reload's pretty quick. Like, there's no like trekking around for 10 minutes to go back to the boss fight bullshit.
Right.
Or anything.
Okay.
It's just like you get there and you're there. And most of them are literally you spawn at the beginning of the boss fight and skip like the introductory. You can skip the introductory cutscene by holding down X or whatever, and then you're in the scrap. But yeah, they're so fucking hard. Some of them just so hard compared to the rest of the game. It's just like I don't know why you felt the need to make this so fucking hard. Because yeah, it's like it's an alright, it's a pretty good story and all that sort of stuff. Like I say, it's absolutely gorgeous. And then you get into this fight and it's just absolutely kicking your ass. And I'm like, I don't understand why this needs to be so hard. But
Is there something you're missing?
I don't think so. Like I've got some abilities, like I'm shooting my bow and arrow. Like there's obviously like there's a bit of mechanics you need to learn. Like I've unlocked a new ability where I can throw a bomb and things and it sticks to them. And you can trigger the bomb early by shooting it with your bow and arrow, or wait for it to explode. But if you shoot, one of the power-ups you can do is to, if you shoot a bomb, it does more damage and all that sort of shit. But in this particular instance, what you throw a bomb at this big dude, can't remember what it's called, like a big stone golem type of thing, and the bomb goes off and it exposes several weak points. And there's like, say there's 6 weak points. I can't remember exactly how many are. 5 of them are on the front of the guy. But the last one is on his fucking back, which he only exposes very occasionally, or you have to somehow get round the back while you've stunned him. It's just like, you've made this too fucking hard. Like, it's hard enough to fucking hit the fucking weak spots anyway. Just why did you hide one round the fucking back? And then like I do that, I finally get to like do all his weak points, and I'm like, right, okay. And then it just takes fucking ages for it to unlock the next sort of phase of the fight. And I'm like, he's just running around stomping, doing fucking loads of big attacks, and I'm just trying to keep out of the way. And I'm like, what is going? Why is I'm just hitting him? It's doing no damage. And I'm like, I've obviously got like something's got to change. And then he fucking does a big attack, and he goes into like a vulnerable state. He does such a big attack that he has to like wait so you can do something. And I was like, that took fucking ages for that to happen. Could I have triggered that somehow? I don't know. There's no obvious way for me to see that I'm doing that or not doing something. I'm just like, so it's quite frustrating at times, but it is really nice and really good looking.
Yeah. Looking through the reviews, it looks as though it's probably one of those games that it's not getting all positive reviews. There's a lot of people picking fault with it, but it looks as though it's a lot of people. Those, like you say, if you like it, you like it, right?
Yeah. So anyway, I've been playing another game, which means this one's hit the back burner a bit. So we'll see what happens with that. It's one of those like, do I go back to it? Maybe. It's there for me as long as it's on PS Plus.
All right. Well, should I go next then?
Yeah.
I'll throw in the obligatory hunt.
Is this going to be a long chat?
It's not really going to. No, I don't think it'd be a long chat about Hunt Showdown. I know the previous event finished, which we got to the end of, and got a skin. And it turns out there's another event just started today.
Yes, I got an email about that.
I did not get an email about that, but I guess I just don't get emails from them. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. It gives us something to focus on. I really like the events, and I really like having challenges and quest lines and all that sort of stuff.
Shall I play your video?
You can do, yeah.
I was gonna say I've seen a few postings on YouTube.
Yeah, I did.
Says
Actually, there are a
no.
couple of videos I put up. I got again a big thanks to Defo who showed me how to use the DaVinci software for editing videos, and so I've got into the habit of clipping a lot of the stuff in Hunt, and so I have a backlog of clips, and I'm putting together Hunt Showdown videos. So I have 4 of those up now. The 4th one just went up, which was fun. And then also, I will just say we played a game yesterday. Mark, myself, and Jay, and had an absolute stormer. Wiped out a team. Nice big battle up at the north part of the map.
Ooh, that was filthy.
At Port Rica, and then we went down the bounty. The first bounty team suddenly were coming up north to get the second bounty, and we intercepted them and killed them and got their bounty, and then went off and just got the second bounty. And yeah, it was just a great game. Big points or whatever. Just one of the just great, fantastic. You know, they don't happen very often like that. So when they do, they're wonderful. So Hunt continues to be great. And then just on the video thing as well, we were playing Valorant. Every so often, Arnie pops his head up and goes, come and play Valorant, please. He begs us to come and play Valorant with him. Not so much begs, but asks. And then, we go in, we have a game at absolute dog shit. Just so bad. Like, I cannot
been
be
out of the
good at.
game
Yeah,
for a while.
it is that game more than Hunt, or more than most games. Like that game, because it's such a twitch shooter and so frantic and frenetic, and there's so much to do with your characters, that being out of the game on that one is just, it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. But so we usually stick to just having one game, and then and that'll be it before us oldies are all wiped out. But we did play one the other day. We were getting absolutely the floor mopped with us by the other team. And but Arnie pulled out a 6 kill, which I clipped, and so I've popped that on the YouTube as well, which is pretty nice. He's that boy. He's got some skill. God damn it. But at least he's on our team. So that's good. So still dipping my toes in that. But I'm not going to go on it. There's nothing more really to say about it, except that I'm shit. And I don't recognize the maps, and I don't know and there's new characters, and I have no idea what they do, and I can't hit anything. I'm slow. Crap.
Well done.
Thank you. Dave?
So yeah, I was going to talk about Redfall.
Oh, this won't
So
take
this,
long.
Talking about.
no. So this game, I don't know if anybody heard of it, but it dropped onto Xbox Game Pass.
Oh, I don't think you could have avoided hearing about this if you're into video games recently.
Yeah. So it dropped onto Game Pass on Monday. Apparently there was a lot of hype about it, and a lot of people were thinking
I'm
it's
not being
the
funny. I'm literally just searching for it in YouTube, and let's be honest, I'm not finding a video that has a positive opinion of it. In fact, it's quite derogatory. The titles of the videos that I'm finding. I'm like, oh.
So yeah, it's so I picked it up. I started playing it. I thought I'll give it a go because came out, looked like a next big thing. There's a few adverts on it, and it looked quite interesting. So picked it up. It was very weird because when I started it, it looked like it should be a game that had multiple players into it. So like co-op was encouraged. So I jumped onto like host a game. And like it was just asking to invite friends and there was nothing else. I was like, okay, that's weird. Wonder if I can join a random game just to see what's going on. No option for that. And I was like, okay, so I guess I'll play game, which was an odd option because the actual graphic for the play game single player was a different color and it didn't look like one you were supposed to choose. Okay, I'll start that up. Started it, and the premise was quite interesting. Basically, vampires have taken a very vampire themed this week. Apparently, I don't know, for me, the vampires and general miscreants have taken over a town. And I started as one of the female characters who's got psychic powers. not psychic powers. I don't know. She's got powers apparently.
They've all got
Um,
powers.
they've all got powers.
All
But
the
this one's got
heroes.
all the heroes. She had like a force field power and then like an elevator power thing. So I played the first main mission. You start on a boat and you get into town. And the boat was quite interesting. I liked the boat. That was quite a bit of a task of getting off and fighting your way out and stuff. And then you kind of come into the dock area where all the water isn't because it's basically a big wall around the town. And it was a weirdly empty space, and I wasn't sure if I was supposed to be sneaking around or fighting my way through, but I just generally walked up to town, and it was quite a long walk. And I met like one or two other sort of evil characters that I killed pretty easily. And it was like it felt like a big thing, a big area that was supposed to be more like
Felt like there
there's
should have
more
been
to it.
more to do.
Yeah, and it was like, okay, I've just walked to town, and yeah, it was like it seemed like a big play area, but just nothing to do in it.
That's one
So that was
thing I
weird.
did hear. It's like, I think it was Giant Bomb. It said, it's too empty. There's nothing. There's nothing there for some reason. It's like there's a big area. These big areas with nothing in.
Yeah. So,
I'm going to try this anyway. I am going to try this.
Yeah, playing it single player, it was weird. I played. I must have put a couple of hours into it because I got a few points into the actual skill trees. I think I only used her special abilities once, and that was because I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I can press X or Z or something to put a force field up. And I didn't feel like there was a need to. I was playing just normal difficulty, but the vampires and the other people, they're just not very good at sort of trying to get around you, or they just shoot at you, and then you hide, and then just pop up, like shoot one in the head, and then.
What's your special abilities? Because I heard someone talking about a cloak. Have you got the cloak?
Not that. No.
Someone
I had a force
basically
field.
like you just hide in the cloak and they just stop and they're like, just stand there and just like then you just shoot them and reactivate the cloak and then like they don't know where you are. It's just so Arcane have been like, this is who made this game, like renowned for like Dishonored 2, even Prey. A lot of people loved Prey, like the new Prey. And yeah, it just doesn't feel like one of their games.
It just feels a bit rushed. The game is obviously supposed to be played as co-op. And there's
it sounds like there's not enough for one person to do in places, let alone 4.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's not good.
It's not good.
I've spent quite a bit of time this week on one of my Discords that I go on, and there's a guy. There's a few guys in there who have really good takes on the industry. There's one guy in there who is in the industry, and like the discussion right now is like what is going on over at Xbox. Like this, this is one of their big titles, right? And they have not got a lot of big titles as it is, and then for this just to be a massive shit storm is just not good, right? And let's not forget as well that they have all the Activision stuff, which is not going their way right now. And I heard as well that there's what do they call it? The buyout clause or the breach clause or something like that.
If they don't do it within a year, then they're going to have to pay a load of money, aren't they?
A few billion. I think it's something like 2 billion or 5 billion or something like that. Like,
yeah, it's all right, they got that money.
Doesn't matter. The shareholders,
Yeah.
This is the Activision deal. So there's a clause in it that if the Activision deal doesn't go through within a certain amount of time, then Xbox has to pay Activision a few billion, right? Not like compensation of a few billion. They don't have any decent titles coming. They their sales are in the tank. on consoles. No decent titles coming out, or well, Redfall was supposed to be a decent title that coming out, and it obviously isn't. So what's next is Starfield,
Forza Motorsport this year as well. That'll do all right.
I guess.
I think
But
people are worrying about Starfield because of Redfall, and I don't.
Yeah.
Game
don't think
Pass
that-
isn't. I don't think Game Pass is making them as much money as they pretend that it is as he's not making as much money as it should be or they had hoped. I just think Xbox is in fucking dire straits.
I think that's a bit of a stretch. I don't think they're in dire straits. I think they're doing okay. They'd probably like to do better for sure, and they wouldn't have wanted this. I don't like if this game is not ready. Why did they put it out? That's the thing. I think. Well, I did hear someone say, "I don't know how much this needs fixing to make it good." That's the problem. It's like I don't know how you make the things that it's not technically bad, not like another game that I've been playing, which is good other than the technical problems, but this is just not a great game, unfortunately, from whatever reason. That's the large. I've not played it. I can't say from my opinion. I haven't played it. I am still interested in playing it because I don't know. I'm watching it. It looks all right.
Yeah, I know, and that's the
It
annoying
looks
thing.
a bit like Back for Blood, but with vampires, which is apparently not what it is, but it does look a bit like that.
Yeah, it has the makings of it could be a good game. It's just things that are not quite there. I strongly suspect if we come back to this in 6 months, it would be a good game. They'd have patched the enemy in like how they actually
Spawn rates and things like that.
spawn rates and the how like their how clever they are. Because at the moment it's literally the vampires just come straight at you, and you just walk backwards and shoot them. That's how you defeat the vampires. You walk backwards and you shoot them. The other non-vampire enemies are just dumb. They're just like literally stand in place and shoot at you, and then you move a little bit and pop up and shoot them in the head. And it's like there's no skill. There's no. That's why I've not had to use my abilities, because I've played it for hours and I've just not had to put up a force field to stop people shooting at me, because like health is everywhere, and the baddies don't pose any real sort of danger. So yeah, it's and then putting a matchmaking for open.
Yeah, the thing is, I'll say it's a co-op. Largely looks like it should be a co-op game, but I've heard that only the host maintains progress. So
Well, okay,
either you always play together with the same group, or whoever's host, obviously, and whoever's not host basically accepts that they're going to have to do all that shit again.
Yeah,
with somebody
and that's
else
another thing that
along
it
the
needs
way.
to be fixed. There's been I can't, was it Dead Island did it really well, in that if you were playing with other people on their game, it saved the progress on you for you.
Well, Back for Blood was fine for that, wasn't it? We all got
Yes. Yeah, that was another one.
progress. So like if we all played together and then we all went off on our own, we would all maintain the progress we've made.
Yeah. Yeah. So why this game can't or hasn't done it? As I say, I think 6 months with updates. I strongly suspect this will be a good game. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a bummer that it's not great out of the gate.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand why people were now worrying about Starfield because of this.
Starfield's going to be janky as fuck.
Well, yeah,
It's a Bethesda game.
it's a Bethesda game. It's a RPG. It's like
But there'll be excuses for the jank because it'll be, I mean, literally fucking gigantic this time around. Like the problems with their games are they're so huge that you can't possibly play test everything, I guess.
No.
But
no, it's like, have people played all the other games that have released on day one?
I haven't.
That
I don't think I've played any of their games on day one.
You tried.
No.
You tried to, but you couldn't. So yeah, a certain level of jank you can kind of understand, but a game like this where
I think what I've heard is if you play it, people will find either they'll like it or they won't. It's not awful, but you'll either like it or you won't. So it's a lot like a lot of other things. Like,
unfortunately, most people dislike this more than, and the people that do like it haven't really come out of the woodwork. So, yeah.
Well, I have downloaded it, so
I started it and I was just like, I have no desire to play this. I thought it looked pretty cool with that water at the start. I haven't got rid of it yet. I might go back in, but I mean,
yeah,
I have a me problem with now, which I was thinking about. I have a me problem with any game that wants me to shoot things, because all I've done and played, and enjoyed for the last 7 years is hardcore shooters where I'm up against real people, and that to me is the real challenge. Very rarely can a game provide me an AI challenge that I'm going to feel satisfied with. Not necessarily saying it's bad or it's good or whatever, but that's the zone that I'm in.
Well, funnily enough, I will go to my next game that I've been talking about. Funny you say that. And I didn't really put 2 and 2 together. I picked up. I started playing Call of Duty again.
Nice.
Because yeah, I think I must have been in the mood for a shooty.
punishment.
Yeah. And so I picked up Call of Duty again. After finding Redfall a bit disappointing. There's been lots of changes for season 3. Not all of the changes I've actually experienced, because I've only been playing the multiplayer. I haven't actually picked up the what's it called? Warzone. Or yeah, there's Warzone. And there's another
Rebirth.
DMZ.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I haven't played those. I've just been playing the actual multiplayer maps. And yeah, there's loads of changes. Obviously, there's a new season pass.
Do they do
there's
like weapon balance changes and things like that?
Yes. So there's 1 or 2 weapons that I had to redo because I think they've changed some of the attachments. Either taking out attachments or limiting certain attachments, certain guns, just to balance them. So there's a few changes in my loadouts. Loads more content. I didn't see any new maps, but doesn't mean they weren't in the rotation. But I didn't see them. But yeah, there's also tokens, and there's another currency that you can use to buy things in game. It kind of all got lost to me. I just want to play. I just want to shoot people. But yeah, like I was unlocking loads of stuff and getting these tokens and stuff. So, but yeah, it's funny that Frez is saying that that you're asking to shoot things and yeah, I didn't put 2 and 2 together, but after that I played Call of Duty and I got my fix of mass player versus player deathmatch style and objective based games.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I want to get back into the Call of Duty. I definitely want to play some more Warzone and some more DMZ. Because yeah, it is. I think what you're saying is the challenge of playing it, like of being against somebody. Definitely calls to me for my shooting itch. Yeah, that's my games.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've played any multiplayer games lately.
You're not Destiny or
Destiny's got a
No,
big
I've
Destiny
been
shaped
off
hole.
about a month off Destiny now.
He's cold turkey.
Yeah,
I
you're Halo.
Nah, I don't know. I just got to a point where I was just like, oh, can't be asked today, and then I haven't been back. Gary's been all over it. I know he's got into a new clan and he's fucking raiding and all that sort of shit, but I was just a bit like, nah. I don't know why. I've not really played any multiplayer. I played that X-Defiant beta and I was like, yeah, it's all right. It's free player Call of Duty. No, you don't have to pay for it. When it comes out, you won't have to pay for it. Might be tempting because I don't have to pay for it. But yeah, I don't know. Just there's a new season in Destiny though soon, so don't know.
So what have you been playing then, Neil?
What I have been playing, I've got 2 games left. How many have you got left?
2.
Okay, I've been playing a big game that came out on the 28th of April. Probably should have come out a week later because when it had been fixed a little bit. But I've been playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor a fair bit.
Yeah, why this game didn't release on May the
4th
4th?
of May, yeah. Well, it's like it literally was about fucking 6 days before. It's like, you should have just released that on the 4th of May and maybe put those patches in that came out. I don't know, maybe they had to send it out into the wild so that it was a little bit better by the 4th of May. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty fucking good, isn't it? Other than the fucking crashing.
What?
Yeah, it's a bummer because there'd been loads of reports when it first came out about it being a little bit buggy. And I was like, oh, hummed and hard. And I went for the EA Play Pro, 15 quid for a month.
Oh, okay, you splash out on that. Right.
Yeah, so I'll try and smash out this within a month. And there's other things on there as well that are all right. And see how it goes. And first area, which you are on Coruscant, which is like the sort of Imperial home planet. This game is set between episode 3 and 4, I believe. So, like, honestly, the prequel trilogy is a bit of a distant memory for me. I don't watch them over and over and again. Like I've had the original trilogy. I've watched that multiple times. But the prequel trilogy, I've probably only watched 2 or 3 times. And it's a little bit hazy. But basically, Palpatine obviously is supposed to kill. He sends the order to fucking kill all the Jedi, doesn't he? In Revenge after Revenge of the Sith and all that shit.
The younglings.
So they all get murdered. Obviously, the babies get murdered, and I don't quite know how Cal Kestis, who is the character from Jedi Fallen Order, was the original game. He's one of the younglings, I think. I don't know. Or he's certainly his master gets killed. There's strange noises coming from somewhere, Dave. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
But yeah,
There
so
was a
anyway,
disturbance in the force.
it was there, wasn't there? I have that quite a lot. So this is the sequel to Fallen Order. He's retained all of his powers from the original game. Hurrah! You're a Jedi and you haven't forgotten half the shit you used to be able to do. So you are a more... Well, I don't know about more experienced. You still got shit you can learn during this game, obviously, because otherwise what would be the point? It's a Metroidvania, third-person action game. It's very, very fucking Star Wars. It's probably the best Star Wars since Star Wars. So,
well, that's quite the statement. So you're serious, like in terms of a
like I watched the first series of Mandalorian and then was a bit meh. After that, I haven't bothered watching the second or third series. It was all right, but Baby Yoda. I'm over the Baby Yoda thing. That was like cute and everything, wasn't it? Everyone loved that for a bit, but I haven't watched that. Everyone says Andor is the one that's actually good Star Wars. Well, I haven't watched that. I haven't watched Boba Fett. I haven't watched any of that shit on Disney.
Bobbin's Fett, I like to call it.
The new trilogy was a bit of a disappointment when you were on reflection. It was just a rehash of the original trilogy, basically, and it just got more and more ridiculous when you look back on it now. And this actually feels like a good Star Wars story. And who doesn't want to fucking kill things with lightsabers at the end of the day? When they feel good. Like, first game was a banger, I think. It was great. And it had some problems. But
so what was the first game?
Fallen Order.
Right, okay.
So you were a hidden Jedi, like literally has sort of been suppressing their powers, and through that game you learned more powers and became a bit more of a Jedi as the game progressed. This game you start as a pretty badass Jedi, so you can do cool shit from the start. It looks really fucking good in this video.
Is that just the start? Is it?
This is the very, very beginning of the game where you're sort of, or very near the beginning of the game anyway. So you are, I can't, I mean, I don't know, I can't spoil the last game, but you start this game, you've lost contact with most of the people from the first game. So it's all like a whole fresh start. You could, I guess, jump in here because there was a massive catch up at the beginning. Like when you start the game, there's just a recap of everything that happened in the first game. It's sort of like the first 5 minutes of the game, just like a little video sort of montage of whatever little moments from the first game to catch you up. So you could just jump in here. And yeah, you're a prisoner. You're fucking going to see the senator, and I'm a bit like, this all feels a bit weird, but yeah. Turns out it's a bit of a ruse, and you actually want to be captured by the senator so that you can fucking do something or other, and all the people that are your captors are actually your friends and all that sort of shit. It's classic Star Wars shit. So I'm not mega far in the game. I've played for about 7 hours.
That's a fair old shake of the stick.
Yeah. But like a lot of time, it's retracing your steps because it's like I say, it's a bit of a Metroidvania, bit like no, Mark posted in Discord about it being Uncharted Star Wars, and yeah, you're fucking jumping up on platforms and like hanging off ledges and double jumping off walls and God knows what and all that sort of shit. It's just you like Star Wars, like good Star Wars. This is good Star Wars, and yeah, the Jedi stuff. It's hard though. It is hard. Like I was complaining about Kana being like hard in the boss fights. Like any old shit can fucking kill you in this game because you can just fuck up and just get killed by a fucking
I've heard it's like
a battle droid from fucking like episode 1. So yeah, well, I mean they're pretty easy to fucking kill. You can kill them with one hit. But some of the wildlife is less dangerous now than it was in the first game. That could absolutely kick your ass.
Oh, the wildlife, game. Right?
Yeah. Whereas so they're still dangerous in this game. And you need to be on guard all the time. Like, you can't fucking just be wandering around like just dicking about, like, because something could kill you quite easily. But yeah, if you've got these cool powers. So, but it's like, oh, if I was a real Jedi, it wouldn't get me arse kicked. It's like, but if you were a real Jedi, you'd have to be focused all the time. So you have to be fucking focused. You have to be paying attention.
So is this like an RPG? So like you got an upgrade path to go through, or do you like choose abilities?
You've got skill trees to upgrade with skill points. So yeah, I guess you could call it an RPG. It's got fucking everything. Everything that people like in video games is in this fucking game.
Microtransactions?
Oh, people don't like those. So I don't think they're in this video game.
Not yet, anyway. Wait until a few weeks are out and then I'll patch it in.
No, you can, like I've got the deluxe edition or whatever because I'm an EA Play Pro member, but it's just fucking, I can change the colour of my lightsaber or whatever. There's none of that bollocks in here. It's
you wait like 6 months down the line, you'll be in a bunny costume and.
I mean, the big elephant in the room here is the performance of the game. Like the first area, Coruscant, I was happy. I was fun and running around. When the game came up, it's like, do you want to enable ray tracing? I was like, no, I've got a decent ray tracing graphics card, but I didn't choose to do that. And it was running fine. And then after a certain point, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to try ray tracing and cranking everything up to the max. And it was still running, wasn't as well. It was a little bit framey in places. When you go into a new area, there's a little bit of like, obviously it's loading stuff in, so it slows down a little bit and stuff like that. Even though I've got this on one of my SSDs, fucking super fast. Not a super fast, sort of like a medium super fast SSD. But And then I got past like Coruscant, the area. You leave there and move to this new. You're looking for one of your old mates from the first game, and so you go to this new area called Kobo, a planet, and it's got a big, wide open area, and that was where my fucking performance issues started to kick in big star. I've had 4 crashes so far, where it literally is just like you're doing something and it just goes, it just the whole game freezes, and it's like, okay, and it just goes poof, and it comes out with a little report, Unreal Engine report. Oh, Jedi Survivor has crashed. Send a report. I was like, send. So I've done that 4 times, which is a bit of a bummer because the game is fucking great. It's a shame it's a bit broken. So,
so waiting is not a bad thing anyway.
I don't know. The only time it was once it's been annoying because I did a load of stuff and it crashed and threw me back like 10 minutes because I hadn't saved, and I was like, oh, that's a bit of a bummer. I'm gonna have to do all that shit again. But I'm just having. It's like a flashback to like Elden Ring, where I'm just fucking exploring every nook and cranny of these areas, just fucking going. And I was like, oh, I can go up there, so I'm going to fucking go over there and have a look at what's over there. And usually there's something there, so it might be a little fight, or it might be a little bit of treasure or whatever. But there's just usually if you can get somewhere, there's a reason to go there. Which is cool because it's annoying when you go all the way into somewhere and it turns out there's fuck all there. So it's good. It's really fucking good. It's just a shame it crashes occasionally and has a little bit of performance issues. But when it's running fine, it looks mighty fine and plays great. Like the fighting's cool. Being a Jedi is cool. Who'd have thought it? Like pulling enemies in towards you and then slapping them on with a lightsaber and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, it's great. Unfortunately, but yeah, it's great with a little asterisk.
With an asterisk, yeah, right. Oh, well, I guess we'll be hearing that for another couple of weeks then, at least.
I've got a month of EA Play Pro to smash through this and possibly Dead Space, or possibly pay for more because F1's coming out soon, isn't it? So if I continue to pay them,
they've got him now. They've got him now. They knew they knew 1 month was not. They were going to get more than a month out of him.
But like, it's 90 quid for a year or 15 quid a month. We'll go. We'll see how far we go. But yeah, if the performance issues aren't exclusive to PC, apparently.
No.
So. But I think they're just different.
So you can't just moan the fact there's a bad port to PC.
No, it's not just a PC problem, apparently. Yeah. So it's, but yeah, I don't think. Hopefully, it won't take long to super iron everything out. But mate, when it's running great, it looks great. It looks fucking awesome. When it's working, I'm watching this PS5 gameplay going. Actually, that looks better than it does on my PC. But it is on a very small picture, so.
Okay. I've got 2 here. I'll rattle through the fact that I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. So I did finish Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario Brothers Wii U edition.
Super Mario Brothers Deluxe Wii, or not even Super U, or I don't even know what it is. Anyway, but there was the comment from somebody who shall remain nameless, Neil, that said, I don't finish games. And I took that to heart. I was like, sod this, I'm going to finish it. So I sat down and I cranked it out. I will admit, my daughter, she bailed, but my son did not bail. He saw me trying to finish it and kept coming over and going, that bit's really easy.
Did he do any of it
the controller to him? Well, we just again were passing the controller back and forth, and it was a good laugh. You know, he was.
Is this new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe? Is that what it is?
So Super Mario Brothers, I think came out. I think it came out. Was this the Wii version? And then
there's a Wii U game that was like hyped, that was done up for the Switch. Is that the one? New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Basically,
everything that was released on the Wii U is getting re-released on the Switch because the Wii U's didn't sell. So this was it. the same version that was on the Wii U, but done up
Looks
with some
nice.
extras and all that stuff. It was brilliant. I mean, it really was brilliant. I waxed lyrical about it a few weeks ago. Why, and it's first party Nintendo Mario. It's fucking brilliant. Okay, in the way that they do everything is so great. And I've talked about it before, so I'm not going to go into any more about that. But it was brilliant, and I'm so glad that I stuck with it and
Shame they don't
finished
put it on
off.
PC.
Talk to Chinny. I don't know. Maybe he'll sort you out. And then I was lying in bed one night, and I was like, I'm gonna quickly have a look on, see if there's any games that I might want to give a try to. Every so often, I just sort of, hold a candle and think, oh, maybe the iPad will deliver something a game that I would like to play on it. And so I downloaded, I think, a Pac-Man game that got binned. I downloaded something else that got binned, and I downloaded Williams Pinball. So for anybody who is not into pinball, Williams was a very famous pinball manufacturer back in the day, and they also made video games too. I think they did Defender was one of the biggest ones that people know them for. But they made a lot of pinball games, which I played back in the day, so I was very interested in this. And
Indiana
I was like, okay,
Jones. Is that one?
yeah, and I was like, okay, I'll try it. I'll load it up, and yeah, back in the day, they had a lot of big games like and I don't know if they did. I don't think they did Addams Family, Fishtails, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Getaway, and I think they did that Indiana Jones one as well. Anyway, so I thought I'd try it. I put it on my iPad. I was like, I'll just try it, and it's by the Zen people.
So is that Pinball FX?
Pinball FX, but this one is being branded Williams because the Williams tables have their own sort of following,
licenses, right? Yeah.
And it's fucking brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I am 100% in deep on this, and I can tell you straight away that this is possibly my game of the year. Or yep. And I don't know what happened. If you had said to me, Fraser, you'll be playing pinball on your iPad and it's going to be great, I would have gone, there's no way, no chance. Like it might be an interesting side, distraction. There's no way that I'm going to be obsessed by it. But I have become absolutely obsessed with Williams Pinball on my iPad.
Can you do us a favour?
Yes.
Can you make a YouTube video? Because I can pull one up on this podcast when you talk about it. Because all the ones I can find are shit.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably do something. You can just pull up anyway, Williams Pinball or whatever. I think it's on
you'd think that,
PC. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so you probably so why is it so great? They've just nailed something in there. So first of all, let's talk about the control. The iPad works for a couple of reasons. One is that you can hold it in portrait mode. So your pinball games are obviously...
That is one of the problems I'm having finding a video.
Yeah, so one of the problems with pinball on PC is that we all have screens that are completely the wrong direction for pinball, right? They need to be upright. They need to be portrait. So the iPad works because you can hold it in portrait mode. Do you suffer from the small screen? Yes, you do a little bit. It would be obviously the bigger the better, but it's still close enough and you're holding it right in front of you that you can genuinely, even me with my bad eyesight, I can see everything that's going on, or I think I can see everything that's going on. I've went back and played. So I've been playing Creature from the Black Lagoon. It allows you to unlock. There's 20 tables. It allows you to unlock one table from the start.
Can I just ask a question?
Yes,
is this on Apple Arcade?
No. So I just downloaded it. Did not pay for it. I have paid.
So the app is free.
The app is free, and it lets you have It lets you unlock one table, right? All the tables have levels, and you have to get a table to level 2 to unlock free play on it, like basically arcade play. But it allows you to unlock one table straight from the start, and then you can buy access to all the other tables if you want. They all cost money. I think it roughly works out, they have sale. I think if you want to unlock a basic table, it costs like around about $12 or something like that. But here's the thing. Every day, every 24 hours, there are table challenges. So I'd unlocked Creature from the Black Lagoon. I play the challenges. It gave me challenges for Creature from the Black Lagoon because that was the only table that I had unlocked. So I would play the challenges, and there would be 3: an easy, normal, and a hard challenge. And then when you finish those each of those challenges, it gives you 5 cards to turn over, and those cards will give you either some flippers, skins, some ball skins or whatever, single use flipper, ball skins, yeah. But it also gives you table parts. And once you have 5 table parts for a particular table, that unlocks the table for challenge mode. So suddenly it doesn't take long to get 5 table parts, maybe a few days, and I got 5 table parts for the getaway. Now the getaway becomes part of the challenges. So that can appear as part of the challenges, table challenges. It's all fucking really complicated, but makes sense once you've been playing it for the 100 hours I've been playing it for the last 3 weeks. But suffice to say, I have really paid very little. There's tickets where you have to upgrade your tables. There's Zen points if you want to buy stuff. But all I am doing is the challenges. And so slowly throughout the challenges, I have unlocked loads of the tables for the challenges. So when I do my daily challenges, I can roll a dice and it could be any one of a number of tables that I have unlocked for the challenges, which is pretty cool. I have not fully unlocked any tables yet for free play that I could just pick up and play whenever I want to play, but I am very close. Like that is going to pop any day now.
Right, so you can unlock the ability. You can basically unlock the table for you to play.
So I went to put when I put my car in, I went to have an alignment done for my car. I was stuck for 2 hours, but I took my iPad with me, right? So I played a ton of Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Did you say how the controls work?
Oh yeah, you just tap the side of the iPad, on the screen, left, right, left, right, left, right. Nudging the table is a bit shitty, but you can shake the iPad and it nudges the table, right? Yeah. But the beauty of not jumping in and unlocking a load of tables means I've given focus to Creature from the Black Lagoon, and I now know that table. I can guarantee you that I could beat the shit out of you on that table, right? Because I know straight away what I have to do to get to multi-ball as quickly as possible. I know all the ramps to take. I know what all the symbols mean. I know what all the things are. There's still stuff on the table I don't know, but I can regularly post a really good score on that. A decent score.
Has it got online leaderboards then?
Not too sure. I haven't really paid much attention to that. And if anybody's listening, my current high score on that is 260 million, and I know I can probably double break that on a good game if I get a good game going my way. And that is the thing that's just become obsessive about it, is learning these tables. And then suddenly as well, and then on the daily challenges as well. So it might have a thing where it goes, right, we're going to give you infinite balls. It doesn't matter if the ball drops. You've got 5 minutes, infinite balls to hit a certain score, and you have to hit it within 5 minutes. And then suddenly you get a table like there's one called Starship, I think it's called, or something like that, or Spaceship or something. Fuck, I don't know what it is. And I play it, and it's really slow and clunky. Like I'm playing Creature from the Black Lagoon, and there's shit going on all the time, and there's loads of noises and loads of stuff you can get, and loads of ramps to make, and like it's just fucking happening all the time. And then you play this Starship game or whatever the fuck it is. And it's really clunky and slow. And I'm like, this is fucking awful. I hate it. I hate this game. But then you settle down and you realize, hang on a second. I got to figure out how to play the table. Like it's not the table that's bad. It's a different table, right? So I've got to just take my time, learn the table. And lo and behold, suddenly I'm like, shit, how do I quickly get multi-ball? How do I make the shots here? Where are the bonuses and all that sort of stuff? And once you spend some time learning these tables, they open themselves up to you and they become fun to play.
So is literally like a pinball simulation? These, or is there like weird only a sort of stuff you can do in a video game version of pinball?
I like this because it's a little bit more basic. It is just like, as far as I can tell, you can only really do what you could do in the arcades with
Yeah.
these. There's pinball physics that don't exist, and there is actually some stuff, levels of tables where you get pro physics. I have no idea what pro physics are. And I've watched people, and I've I've followed. I'm a pinball fan, and so I know there are shots that you can make, and there's a certain something that playing physical pinball is like nothing else. You cannot, no matter what anyone says, you'll never fully replicate it, right? But I went and played pinball. I went and played Creature from the Black Lagoon on my Xbox just to go check it out, right? And I was like, I don't think I like this as much as I like the version on my iPad, because the version on my Xbox in Pinball FX3 has the fucking creature climbing out, and there's ripple effects and things going on, and I'm like, I don't want any of that. The iOS version is quite nice because it's just almost a
Pure
little bit
pinball.
more a little bit more pure.
Yeah.
That being said, some people might go from one way and go to the iOS one and go, oh, well, that one's shit because it doesn't have this. So your mileage may vary. All I can tell you is I'm absolutely fucking obsessed with it. And I'm loving learning the rules of each table. Like, that's ultimately what it comes down to. If you want to post big scores, it doesn't matter how much you hold the ball, how much, sooner or later the ball's going to sink. So if you know the rules to a table, you are going to post, you are in a better position to post big numbers. And that is the goal of pinball, right? Posting big numbers, getting free plays, being a fucking pinball wizard, and all the chicks loving you, right? It's basically
your
turning
iPad.
around. Yeah, like they, I don't know how familiar you are with pinball, but when you post a big,
I'm definitely not
big
familiar with hot chicks loving me.
Well, if back in the day, if you're in an arcade or playing a physical pinball game, right, you would hear, like, if you got a free game, you would hear a knock, right, or there used to be a solenoid that would bang the inside of the cabinet, right, and you could hear that. You'd be in the arcade and you'd hear a massive knock, and you go, oh shit, someone's either just like broken the top score, or they've got a free game, or something's happened, right? And this has the knock as well. If you play with headphones, you hear the big knock and all that sort of stuff. It's really, really well done. And so I would say, and I'm not going to go on two more because I'm going to be playing it for a lot more time. If you like pinball, this could be a really good way for you to get into it. And I highly recommend that you pick a decent table to start. Something like Creature from the Black Lagoon, which has a shit ton going on, and is a really good table.
Did you know that one before you went into it?
Yeah, I played it a lot back in the day. So so I remember all the sounds and stuff like that. There's a lot of memories, a lot of like down memory lane with this as well, which is really nice. But you don't have to spend any money. You can just play it on your iPad. You can just do the daily challenges are a really good way to do this. I almost feel like they've screwed up a little bit because I don't feel like I need to buy the tables. Like, they're coming. I know the tables are coming. I know, like, over the weekend, I'm going to get another table, I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do, I'm going to be super excited because then I can play that one. If I had too many tables at my disposal right now, I think there would be a risk of,
the oversaturation of
oversaturate. Exactly, Dave. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Too much
nice
choice.
that and the daily challenges are really nice in that you want to complete the daily challenges, so you're forced to play these what you perceive as crappy tables, and then you've got to finish the challenges, and the hard challenges can be really hard, but they force you to learn the tables, like I was saying. So I'm going over old ground again. Suffice to say, fucking brilliant, love it. Get on board and check it out.
Well, you don't have to spend a lot of money unless you don't have an iPad. Then you have to buy an iPad.
Yeah, the
It's quite
iPad
a
is
lot of
something that
money.
you need, but I believe it's probably on Android as well.
Yeah, it is. I've just checked it out.
I've seen like loads of clips on when I've been trolling for YouTube. Lots of things for the Android version videos. I didn't bother.
Yeah, but if you've got an iPad and you fancy getting into it as well, hit me up
it
for a
works on
friend
an
request.
iPhone, but it's probably
I
less
haven't
good.
tried it on the iPhone. I did download it on the iPhone, and then I was just like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not. Like, that is just a recipe for disaster. Plus, it's really like that is getting a bit to the too small.
Well, the only
too small.
device I have is an iPhone.
Well, you could try it, and your mileage may vary. You might like it. But yeah, if you do decide to play it, like I have a very basic iPad that I bought like a year ago. It's the lowest model you can buy,
An Air.
and it runs it just fine. No, it's not an Air. I don't think. Maybe it is. I don't know. Whatever. It was the cheapest one that Apple sells, and I bought it a year or so ago, maybe even nearly 2 years ago. And it runs just fine. I mean, I feel like it hammers the battery, but I think actually that's just me playing it a lot. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And like I say, if you're on Game Pass or whatever, hit me up and you're playing it, then we can be friends and we can compare scores. And I'll beat the shit out of you. And there you go. Challenge on.
Nice.
You will
I
be
have
hearing
to
more
download it on my
as
iPhone right now.
Good. I can't remember what my Game Pass name.
It's not a
my
Game
iOS.
Pass, is it?
No, sorry, my iOS.
Apple Arcade. Is it Arcade?
Apple. No, it's not Apple Arcade. It's I don't know. My equals Fumu equals. That's what my my thing is. So Fumu with an equal sign on either side.
Did you miss a D off the end of the equals?
Equals what?
You have a D at the end.
The penis sign. Yes, very good. Very good. You win.
There's a capital D, obviously. Otherwise, something else has gone wrong.
Yeah. Anyway, so I've been jonesing to talk about it. I couldn't believe it as well. Like the first week I wasn't on the show, that couple of weeks ago, I was already in balls deep on this, loving it. So.
Yeah, I assume that's an 8 at the beginning of the equals.
Come on then, give us your last game.
Right, okay. I finished a game. I bought and finished a game. Say a game. It's more of a DLC. You may remember, if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, I played a game called The Case of the Golden Idol a few months ago. Well, they released a DLC.
That says a lot that you've bought DLC for the game.
Yes, it was less than £5 for the DLC. I'm only playing the trailer on the stream because it's obviously full of spoilers otherwise. So it's not really a detective game. It's more like a putting the parts into a story game. Like you have like I've described this before, but you have a scene play in on the screen. There are things to click on for you to investigate further and pick up keywords from descriptions or notes to people, or there may be maps on a wall that you click on and pick up locations off a map. There's whatever it may be. There's things that are shining at you. You click on them, and there are keywords that you then pick out off of each thing. And then after you've found all of the keywords, you go into the next phase of the game, which is putting all of those keywords into panels which play out the events of a story. So, I mean, this is just more of the same from the first game, basically. It's a prequel to the original game. So the aforementioned Golden Idol is mentioned in this game, but never seen. In the first game, you had to suss out how to use the said Golden Idol to complete parts of the story. This is all. It's a bit. I mean, you are thrown in at the deep end. Like you are straight into a massive multiple murder scene that needs to be put together in the beginning of this DLC. There's only 3 scenarios. There's quite a lot less of a game here. I don't know about quite a lot less, but I can't remember how much the original game was. About 15 quid. So I guess a third of a game is probably what you're getting here. So yeah, really enjoyed it. Got a bit stuck on the very, very last puzzle. I fell asleep. It says I played it for however many hours this last 2 weeks, but actually it was just like, I was just one of those moments. I was like, I just sat back in my chair and I was trying to think about it. And the next thing I know, I was woke up about 3 hours later and went, I better turn that off and come back to it tomorrow. And then finished it within about 15 minutes of playing it. So I don't know. It's a demo. There's a demo on Steam. It's on sale at the minute because it's obviously they've just released the DLC. So the original game's on sale. It's still good. Like the DLC is good. It's not as much as it was in the first game, but it was fun, and it's different to most things you will find.
It's still on my wish list.
Yes, well, it's cheaper at the moment, so maybe you should buy it now.
Maybe I should
buy it with the DLC because it's a bundle and you save a bit more money.
Come on, say check it out.
Check it out.
Maybe I will. Okay. All right, we done?
That's it.
Is all my games. So I guess we are.
Okay. I think we'll call that a show then. It's good to be back. Thank you, gents, for holding up the fort while I was gone. Thank you to all our listeners. Thank you to me for subscribing again. My Twitch
well
Prime
done,
sub.
Fraser.
Yep, no problem. Keeping the show alive in more ways than one. Actually, you guys kept the show alive very well last week. I was very impressed.
Thanks.
Did you enjoy the hosting, Dave?
Yeah, surprisingly so. Actually, I thought I'd hate it, but I was like, no, we're 170
We're just chatting.
odd episodes in. I think I'll host one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was it was surprisingly easy.
Especially since we hate each other most of the week. It's fine.
Well, I have no problems with swapping hosting duties if anybody wants to step up and take the reins one week. So ask, no problems at all.
Cool.
Okay. Well, look, I've got to go off and go to feed children before there's an uprising.
Your camera's frozen.
Yeah, I know. I think I've just touched the USB input, but as long as you can hear me, then that's okay, and I will let it go. All right. Okay. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure as always, and we shall catch up with you next week.
Cool.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Dave's got to do his bit.
Oh, yeah. He hasn't done his bit.
Hang on. Okay, right. I'll say thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast. If you'd like to ask us questions or get involved, please contact us either on Twitter at Seal Podcast, email us at sealpodcast@gmail.com, or join us on the Discord server. A link is pinned on Twitter. We have YouTube and Twitch channel, which we upload and stream to. Neil, do you want to do a shout out for chat?
Shout outs to Hardly Dan, literally Lethius, Mint Safe. We will get back to you on those questions. I think that's it.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Until next time, we shall see you later.
Cheers, guys.
See ya.
Bye.